just keep swimming. Finding Dory, directed by Andrew Stanton and Angus MacLean, the sequel to the beloved animated classic Finding Nemo. So Finding Dory takes place shortly after the events of the first film, where Dory, or, although she suffers from short-term memory loss, she suddenly remembers her parents, and she had a family, and she goes off on an adventure to find them, and it is up to Marlin and Nemo to get her back. But along the way, Dory gets captured and put in this enormous aquarium, where she meets some colourful characters along the way and goes on a life-changing journey to discover who she is. Now, I of course love, like everyone else, the original Finding Nemo. What a wonderful animated classic and true masterpiece. It had everything: a compelling story, timeless characters, such a great life message about to parents about letting go, and breathtaking animation. What can I say? I love that movie. It is one of my top 10, if not top 5 favourite Pixar films. Of all the Pixar films, Finding Nemo was not one of the ones that anybody particularly demanded a sequel for. Nobody was wondering, oh, when's the next Finding Nemo come out? Because at first Pixar confirmed they were a company of no sequels, and they didn't originally want to make Toy Story 2. It was Disney that insisted that they did make Toy Story 2, which is why Toy Story is now a trilogy. But and of course, Toy Story 4 is in the works. But and that's also why we got Cars 2 and Monsters University. So now that Disney and Pixar are working together, Pixar have no choice but to make sequels to keep this alliance. And Finding Dory as a sequel, I'm amazed it took 13 years after the original film to come out. So they could have made Finding Dory a lot sooner if they were going to make it. And Finding Dory, I was really wary about going into it because the trailers did not particularly do anything to get me anticipating it the way I wanted, and it of course has such a hard act to follow, living up to Finding Nemo. But thankfully, I can gladly say I really like it. It is one of Pixar's best sequels, and really improves the character of Dory. Now, Dory was my favourite character in the original Finding Nemo. She was just so funny. She was heartfelt. She kept forgetting everything. You felt so sorry for her, and she was the one that actually got. Without her, Marlin would never have found Nemo, and the fact that she's getting her own movie, I was very happy about. It really works, because now Dory is even more perfect as a character with this movie. And the scene where they show baby Dory with her parents are adorable. Cutest thing ever. Cutest thing Pixar has done since Boo. Not to mention Ellen DeGeneres is outstanding as Dory. Why isn't there a category for best voice acting? There should be. If there is, she should win it. And this movie really focuses on the aspect of disability. Now, I have a mild disability, mild Asperger's syndrome, which means I sometimes have communication difficulties with others, but I've learnt to overcome it over the years. But in this movie portrays Dory's memory loss. Her disability becomes her strength, which is great, which is very encouraging, and to see Pixar tackle this topic. And I'm glad that this movie takes place for the most part in an aquarium. That's such an original idea, because of course Nemo spent most of the original movie in a fish tank, but they've expanded it here, and we get some great colourful, wonderful new characters, the best of them being Hank the octopus. He was awesome. I love octopuses and they are so fascinating, and Hank, I love the way he moves, his skin texture. he was also very stubborn. Him and Dory had great banter, and he was kind of like Dory's buddy. He was really helping her around the aquarium on her journey. And I'd also love Destiny and Bailey, the whale shark and the beluga whale. I'm glad that this movie had some whale characters appropriately, particularly as Dory can speak whale like this. Yeah, they were a great addition, offered great comic relief. The animation here, what can I say? It's brilliant. It's Pixar. They are top class animation, and the animation here is even better than the animation in the original film, and that's the one thing this movie actually does better than the original. It looked like live action water. I am not kidding. The first Finding Nemo had outstanding animation too, but this animation just takes it to a whole new level. But what do you expect? It came out 13 years later, and also soundtrack by Thomas Newman is beautiful. It really gives you a nostalgia fest, while it isn't in the same league as the soundtrack from the original Finding Nemo, but that movie had a perfect soundtrack, so it was never going to top it. And there are a couple of cameos from the original Finding Nemo, like Mr. Ray and Crush, but they don't really contribute much other than nostalgia. But thankfully, this movie doesn't spend too much time on nostalgia and just focuses on this new story. And by the end of the film, Dory realizes something very thought-provoking and a great life lesson, that when she's trying to find her parents, that she has more family than just her parents. She has Marlin and Nemo and the friends she's met along the way. That really makes you tear up once you think about it. And I also love the fact that there's no real villain in this film. It's an emotional journey, like Inside Out was. It worked for that film too. I mean, because Finding Nemo series takes place in the real world, a villain who was trying to take over the ocean, it would be stupid. It wouldn't work at all. So props to Pixar for that. But as much as I really like Finding Dory, sadly it did have some issues that hold it back from being a perfect film, that hold it back from being as good as Finding Nemo. First of all, the stakes in this film are definitely lower than Finding Nemo. It is, while it does have a great heart and great emotion, it's just doesn't quite give you the emotional impact that Finding Nemo did. And the journey that Dory goes on just doesn't feel as epic or as fulfilled as Nemo and Marlin and Dory's journey did in the original film. I mean, the movie started out a little slow and felt really small when Dory, Marlin, and Nemo were swimming out in the ocean. But once Dory got to the aquarium, then the movie truly comes into its own. And also, Marlin and Nemo are pretty wasted in this film. They have little to nothing to do, being supporting characters just there to find Dory. But at least with Marlin, Dory, and Finding Nemo, they got half the screen time Nemo did, and so we actually got to see their side of the story. And Marlin actually was learning to be a less paranoid father. But here, Marlin and Nemo don't really change. They don't really learn anything, so they don't really have much purpose in this film. But overall, Finding Dory isn't as good as Finding Nemo, obviously. It's still a great sequel and definitely a worthy successor, but it's not one of the 10 or 5 best Pixar films ever made, but it's certainly not one of their worst. So yeah, as Pixar sequels go, it's not quite in the same league as Toy Story 2 or 3, but it is leagues better than Cars 2. And if you go and see it, expect a wonderful Pixar short at the beginning with the bird on the beach, because the animation there are some of the best animation I've ever seen in my life, period. That looked like real sand and real water. That gets 2 thumbs up as well. I give Finding Dory 4.5 stars out of 5. Shocking that Pixar didn't make the best animated film of the year, but certainly one of the best, and I'm glad it's getting the rave reviews and You're glad it's made 900 million at the box office. Well deserved. So thank you all for watching. And what did you think of Finding Dory? Did you like it better or worse than Finding Nemo? Please comment below. Let me know. Please like this video, subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on my Google Plus, and I'll see you all next time.